Like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on Tenet, so tell me, what is your favorite Christopher Nolan film of all time? Put that in the comment section down below. As in the end, I was confused yet enthralled. I think this movie deserves my highest rating of Superman Prime. Christopher Nolan does such a great job at building the spectacle and the concept around time travel or time whatever he's doing in this movie. He does a good job at building the concept and the world building, the idea of this thing, and setting the stage for the plot. This is one of those movies that focuses heavily on plot and story over character, and that's my biggest issue with this thing. Unfortunately, all the spectacle in the world is not going to make up for a lack of emotional resonance, and that is what I felt while I was watching this film. I just didn't emotionally connect with anything. Nothing resonated with me. Nothing made me feel as much as I wanted to feel. Characters in the movie, I mean, it's kind of bare minimum stuff. The movie doesn't really get into these characters. You don't really find out that much about them, to be honest. Acting is all terrific, and the acting and the performance makes you want to watch them, but even though you don't not care about them, you're not given enough reason to care about them. And another big issue that I feel like a lot of people are going to point out is the sound design, the sound mixing, the musical score, and how it all blends together. It's definitely a problem. Yeah, I'm going to say that. The way that the sound mixes with the score in this film, it becomes so bombastic and so loud that sometimes it drowns out what people are saying. Sometimes it makes it hard to understand what the dialogue or what the exposition in the scene is. Sometimes you're going to be watching this movie and there's going to be a scene that happens. You're going to be like, okay, what the fuck did they just say? Like, did I just miss something? Was it not that important? Was I not supposed to hear what just happened? Imagine trying to talk through all of this noise. Like, imagine if you're trying to hear what I'm saying right now and you can't actually hear what the fuck I'm saying because of all this noise right now. Imagine what you're trying to do with that or also understand. I mean, I'm speaking for now. Nolaning was just off the charts in this entire movie. He goes for it all. He swings for the fence. He swings for the moon with this movie. If nothing else, you have to respect the filmmaking, the attention to detail, the passion that went into making this movie clearly, and the sheer grandiose ambition of it all. One of those movies where I was scratching my head for probably about half of the movie, but then the other half of the movie, my jaw was dropped in awe. So it's just left a very complicated emotion while I'm sitting there in the theater.
What the hell's going on out here?
So I do have to warn people right off the bat, this is a very confusing, complicated, complex story and plot. And there are going to be things in this movie that are going to happen, and you're not going to know what the hell is going on. You got to try to stick with it. Nolan does explain the way time works in this movie and the way the concept of inversion works in this movie, but he doesn't hold your hand through it, and there's still a lot of things that maybe don't have an explanation. So if you get confused during this movie, good for you. You were supposed to get confused. I would actually recommend that if you are into this movie or if you're kind of interested in knowing more about this concept, try to watch this movie at least 2 or 3 times. Like, maybe then you'll have a greater appreciation and understanding of the picture that Nolan is trying to paint here, because it is a very wide and very crazy and nutso tapestry that he has thrown down on the canvas in this movie. Gotta go with the performances here. All of the performances in this movie are absolutely incredible. John David Washington, if you didn't see him in BlacKkKlansman, get to know his name. That is Denzel Washington's son, and he definitely has some of Denzel Washington's acting chops. So did Robert Pattinson, or Robert Battinson as I like calling him. Yes, that is your new Batman coming to theaters in 2021, and he definitely displayed more of that terrific acting skill that he's picked up in the last decade plus. Elizabeth Debicki was also really good. Kenneth Branagh, I love that guy as an actor. He was terrific in this movie. He plays kind of a villain character. The attention to detail is incredible in this film. The cinematography, my God, this is just one of those gorgeous ass movies that almost hurts your eyes to look at it. If you ever see a beautiful woman walking down the street somewhere, you're just kind of like, oh my damn, and you start squinting, even though there's nothing wrong with your eyes, and it's not like the sun is in your eyes or anything.
You start squinting for no reason because you're just like, oh shit.
That's how you look at the cinematography and the frames in this movie. Like, every single frame is just immaculate. It's immaculate conception. It's beautiful. It's eggs on a tit. It's omelet titties. This movie is one of the best looking films of the entire year. Everything from the color grading, everything, just everything, okay? Everything involved with shooting a movie and making it look fucking beautiful. That's what Nolan does in this movie. It also applies to the music. Ludwig Göransson, damn, oof, boy. I almost don't have words. The musical score in this thing, it just hits you right off the bat, and you're just swept up in the awe of it. It's very bombastic, very loud. We'll get to that later. This movie has an incredible sound to it. It has an incredible feel to it. It looks incredible. Christopher Nolan at the very top of his game. Some of the shots and some of the sequences in this film, even the action sequences, some of them I'm just like, how did they do this? Like, how did they pull this off? It's one of those films where every single way that it was shot and drawn up, every single way that it was edited and directed, just makes you want to go behind the scenes and see exactly how the fuck Christopher Nolan was able to pull off something this masterful. Be confused, but be in awe, and then come back and watch it again. Or, you know, maybe you'll be bored for some reason and you won't want to watch it. But I'm just saying, man, this is one of those films that remind you of why blockbusters exist. This is the most Christopher Nolan film that Christopher Nolan has ever Christopher Nolan. This time travel thing has to be used to try to stop people who are going to do something bad with time, and that's going to mess up the world. And that's like the shittiest way I can explain this movie. Basically just a spy movie involving some time travel, and John David Washington's character has to stop stuff from happening. Like, that's basically the story here. Basically, John David Washington's character gets drawn into this big espionage thing where time is a concept that is constantly inverted and played with. Plot here is very complicated, and it's something that I don't want to say too much about because I kind of want you to go in blind. To be honest, if I told you the plot of this movie, you might not understand it anyway, so I'm going to do my best to be vague. Tenet is a brand new sci-fi action movie directed by the one, the only, Christopher Nolan. It stars John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, and it also stars Kenneth Branagh.